Hello, hello, hello. You are most welcome back to my channel, especially if you're a first time visitor. If you're a repeat visitor, thank you for coming back. If you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. As soon as I upload it, you'll be notified. Please like the content if you find that it speaks to you in any way, or give me a thumbs up. That way I can know that this is working, and then also share it with other people who you think will benefit from the message. Let's dive straight into it. I have done a series of videos, and this is part of it, on death. The first one was my experience after losing two brothers in a space of 3 years and recovering from that grief or healing from it for both of them. The first one was 13 days. The second one was just 24 hours. I managed to wrap my head around what I was dealing with, how I was dealing with it, and then to be able to move forward. And I'll drop a link to those videos in the description below. I also did a video after that about what I believe we go through, what we do actually, and how we react and respond to death. Again, compared to, in relation to what happened to me and what I have seen from lots of people around me who have lost their loved ones, and also for myself before my brothers, because I lost both my parents and another brother so many years back. So in this video, we're going to talk about what I did to heal, and also what, the conversations I've had with some people, and some have tried it. It has helped. They always thank me for, just helping them navigate. So I thought, we're again in a difficult season. This might help a person or two. So, in as much as the psychologists and the medical fraternity has come up with a list of stages that we go through, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. We all basically go through either all of these or some of them, and some people will skip some don't go through them in that particular order, but we can all always fit whatever stage or emotions we're in into any one of these areas. But today, without following that particular order or that particular list of stages, I will talk about the things, in layman's terms, that we, I believe, should do. So the first one is to cry, and just have a good old cry, a good old cleansing cry is what I call it. Like, just let that emotion out. Just feel whatever it is that you need to feel. Many times we try and, we'll try and be strong. We really do have to be strong, especially when we are doing the preparations and so on and so forth. But always find time to let those emotions, come to the surface. Let the tears come out. Let that, what you're feeling, come out. The other one is, so you'll go through feelings. You'll be feeling different things at different stages. It's very important that we give a name to what you're feeling, because it's only when you know what you're feeling that you kind of know how to work around it. Some of the feelings, some people will feel sadness. Obviously, we all feel sadness when somebody has passed. But then also there are people who pass and you don't feel sad, but you feel angry at, maybe not the person, but at life, at something that you don't understand. But it is anger, and it's still a powerful emotion when there's a great loss. Some people feel regret or guilt, where you kind of feel like you could have done more. Maybe if you had done X or Y or Z, you could have, helped this person. Even just regret of not doing certain things while this person was alive. Maybe you needed to talk about something. Maybe you needed to forgive each other for something that either they did to you or you did to them, or you had certain plans that you did not fulfill where they are concerned. So you go through a period of regret. For some, there's just fear, just a deep, deep, deep fear of the implication of death on our lives and on our futures, on so many, just fear of all kinds of things. Then for others, there's anxiety. You're just now you know, worrying about tomorrow, what ifs are going through your mind, and you're looking at people around you and thinking, oh my God. So now you're anxious. You almost do not want to leave the house or go into certain spaces or situations, worrying that something could happen to you. So you have to name what you are feeling so that you know then how to deal with. The other one is, once you've named it, allow that emotion to flow. If it is anger, allow yourself to feel anger. I remember for me, while I felt anger and I was angry at God really, I did not think it was okay for me to express anger towards God. That would be blasphemy. Until a friend said, listen, let it rip. And it helped me a lot, because I realized, if he's God and he knows us the way we say he does, he should be able to understand that I have this emotion that he has given me. So please let that emotion come to the surface and deal with it. If it's sadness, let it come. But also, when it comes, you've identified it, you've let it come to the surface. Give it a moment. Do not let it stay for too long. Okay? Have an honest conversation with God. I did that and it helped me so much. I wasn't praying. I wasn't doing the usual, Father God, I come to you at this time. No. I said, but God, I am not happy with you. And I let everything out. I just put everything out there for him to receive and to deal with and to fix. So that I found was so helpful, because if I can't tell God, who am I going to tell who's going to understand? Then, after you have told him, trust that you have spoken to the ultimate fixer, and trust that he has got your message and now he's going to work. It will not be on your terms. It will not be what you understand. For me, it was absolutely nothing like I expected, but he came through so powerfully and so beautifully. Then be present more. I've also got a video on being present and living in the moment. I will drop that link in here as well. You need to watch it, because many times we then get lost in memories of the past, and the memories are always the sad ones, the ones that cause us, to go back to that place, maybe when we received the sad news, or when we were at a vigil, or the point when you cried so much, or when this person was sick. If they were sick, you could get stuck in that place, or you could be worrying about tomorrow, worrying about what life is going to be like without them. No. In as much as possible, come back to the present moment. And how do you do that? Take a deep breath. I learned that also when my brother Timothy died. I would just find myself, like things are getting too much, and I'll just go. That would just bring me back. I learned later on what I was doing, but I didn't know then. It helped me so, so much. Then, spend time with loved ones. Spend time with people who know you and people who knew the deceased. It helps, because then you're both supporting each other. You know that you both feel the same way, and you can allow yourselves to be vulnerable. If you have to cry together, cry together. If you have to talk about what you are feeling, please, please, please. It's always best to bring those feelings out. Give them a name and put them in words. Bring them out of your head, out of your mouth, and put them out there, because then it's almost like you can see them now and you can say, okay, so I feel fear. This is what I'm so sad right now. Okay, I see that I'm sad, but we cannot keep looking at it always. But if it's in your head, you're in, out, you hide from it, but it is always there. So be with people that you love, people who understand you, people who know the deceased as well as you did. Spend time together. And then also spend time with friends. Understand when you're going out to spend time with friends, or when you're going out to where you might meet other people, even when they call you, understand that this will be awkward. It is awkward for people to reach out, because they don't know what to say. All we know is that you are in pain, or you are grieving, and it's difficult. They want to reach out, but they don't know what to say. Sometimes people will say things that will be so awkward you'll even roll your eyes. Other times they may make you upset. Just always remember that in as much as it's difficult for you, it is difficult for them. Okay? Then get out in nature. I find this to be so powerful, because when you sit out, it's like you're sitting with the trees. They're moving, the wind is blowing them. You're sitting on grass. You're just looking at insects, chickens, birds flying. And then you realize that there is a higher power. There's a bigger force than what we know and what we understand. And it kind of also helps you to know that the deceased spirit is amongst the leaves, the trees, is soaring. When they say, now they're soaring with the angels, when you see a bird fly, you just kind of feel like, that is what they're doing. So it's very, very important and very helpful for you to be out in nature. Exercise. Maybe I shouldn't use the word exercise. It should be do some physical activity. Get out of the house, move your body. When you move your physical body, you move your spirit self, okay? And when you shake things around, it's like everything is all over the place because your mind is all over the place. When you do some physical exercise, like your body comes alive and comes back together. Now you realize that you have a forearm. You realize that you have calf muscles. You realize that your Achilles tendon is there. So you start to think of other parts of your body, your back. That also, the same way that your body starts to sort of come alive and come together, is the same way that your mind also will regroup. So very, very important to get into some form of physical activity. It could be a walk, could be a run, could be anything, but just move your body. Hydrate. I know that when people are grieving, a lot of them do not want to eat. They do not feel like eating. They have no appetite. You cry, you dehydrate. It's very, very important that you hydrate during this time. Otherwise, you start feeling even lazier than you should. You don't want to get out of bed. So when you hydrate, it sort of helps you, get around and out of that state rather sooner than later. Right. Look out for emotions that have lingered for too long. And you will know. Your subconscious mind will always say, okay, we have been sad for too long. We may not know how to get out of it, but we have been sad for too long. Or we have been angry at the deceased for too long. Or we are angry at God for too long. The minute you start to sense that something has lingered for too long, speak to somebody about it and tell them it's taking too long. I'm just stuck in this place. Speak to a friend, speak to a relative. Just let somebody else know that you are starting to struggle a bit more than you should, okay? If you don't want to go to work a week, 2 weeks, you just do not want to get back into the grind, into life. Speak to somebody and let them know, let them support you. Ask for the support. Okay? Always call up good memories that you shared with the deceased. Very, very important. And just kind of lose yourself in those. Laugh at silly things that they said, the things that they did. Always try to bring back happy memories and try and end that trip down memory lane there. Many times we start with thinking about happy things, and then we end with, oh, but they are dead, and then you come back to that sad place, and that is where you end off. So what happens is that every time you then think about this person, you always connect that feeling to sadness. You connect that feeling to negative thoughts, and then the whole experience just loses the goodness of it. Speak to the deceased whenever you feel like it. When you are missing them so much, please find a quiet place, sit down and talk to them. They have no concept of time, space. And I will talk about time, space. Meaning they can be absolutely anywhere they choose in a minute. If you call their name, they are there. They will not wait 30 minutes and say, I'm coming from Ginger, or I'm coming from the UK, I have to get on a flight because you have called me. No, they are there. Summon them, call them, talk to them. If you don't want to call them, it's okay. Just talk to them. Imagine they are there and just talk to them. Have a normal conversation, okay? It helps. I'll tell you a story. There's a lady who lost her father, and she was so close to him. He died, and I mean, she was so broken, and she was failing to get back into the grind, into her routine of her life. But every time she broke down and she was really in a bad way, one of her aunties would call her and say, "Your dad came to me last night and said you are not doing well. Please, get a grip. Please get yourself together. He needs you to stop worrying." And this went on for, a good few months. She would be fine, and then one day she breaks down and she's, inconsolable. Every time she did that, her father appeared to the same auntie to say, "Tell that girl to let her be strong." I just thought, wow. And imagine, all this time she knew it, but she still mourned him like somebody who does not know. These are the things that we miss. Because imagine if he's saying that and you can, talk to him. Talk to him. Because that's why we miss them, because we think we cannot reach them ever again. So speak to the person that you miss. You can even ask them, "Let me know if you are okay." And they will find a way. They always find a way. Just keep your heart open. Then lastly, seek help from your spirit team. The spirit team is comprised of our angels. We have spirit guides, okay? We have ancestors who love us. And ancestors could be anything from 10 generations, 50 generations back, or it could be your own parents who have died, who have been dead a while. And they all are now part of your ancestral group. They love you. Every time I call on my ancestors, I call on my ancestors who love me unconditionally. Just in case there's some out there who don't love me very much and are thinking, "Oh, she's called us." No. I always call on my ancestors who love me unconditionally. And also, in case you are a bit worried about calling on your ancestors, I first call Archangel Michael and I ask him to stick around, send me some of his guys, to hang around me so that nothing happens. But also, I do not give in to fear at all, because if I know who I am and I know that my God is a powerful God, surely he can deal with my ancestors if I'm calling and they also want the not so nice ones want to come in. So I block them off at that point and have my beautiful moment with the team that supports me every day. So those are some of the tips. Those are 15 tips that I've given you that, just engage in them. Just put yourself in that space. Always be aware of what is happening. Always, always, always. Otherwise, thank you so much. And we really pray that the souls of the deceased are actually not resting in peace. Every time I'm going to say, "May they rest in peace," I'm like, who says they're resting? They're floating around all over the place, enjoying the freedom of being outside this body. And I think we say rest in peace because we see a body resting very peacefully. That soul has burst out of there. It's all over the place. So thank you very much. I will see you on the next video.